everyone, and welcome to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. And today we are going to continue on with Gary Grigsby's War in the Pacific, our Sunday tradition here at 10 a.m. Pacific, even when my beloved Liverpool are playing Manchester City. But we have bigger things to deal with here, and that is the Imperial Japanese. This week we've been setting up Java, really looking at the island of Java. We've already pretty much ticked most of the things off of our boxes here. We've looked at Batavia, we've jumped around a little bit, we've looked at float plane bases, we've looked at the center part of the island, and we've talked about moving our air pieces, our squadrons, out to Swerbaya, to Batavia, to Jilajab, potentially, and trying to get them all kind of centrally I say centrally located, more like put together in these nodes, right? And a big reason for that is you don't want your bombers uncovered by cap, because they will sit on the airfield and get absolutely destroyed by Japanese bombers. And so you want to have cap that will be over the top of your bombers. So I like to have, pick 2, maybe 3 locations in an area and say this is where we're going to have all of our planes, to the extent that you can get aviation support there, which is always the challenge. Aviation support, sometimes you're just very low on that, or you don't have another place to get it. We can look around for base forces that provide it. We can also look up to Singapore, where we have a couple of RAF command divisions that will eventually, I say command divisions, they're not really divisions, they're command units that will eventually, hopefully, we can get down to Java and provide even more air or aviation support, if we're saying the proper term. So let's look at the map here, and so we're going to start off here, and I'm just going to set up the last few things in Java that we have not set up. Mainly that's all in Swerbaya. I really haven't gotten into Swerbaya yet, which is where a lot of this stuff is. And then we're going to resolve turn 7. We're going to resolve the December 14th turn and watch that all happen together as we do on Sundays. So before we get to Swerbaya, there's just a couple of other places we need to run around here on the map. The first one is Pamukazan. Okay, let's go look for it. Where is Pamukazan? And I'm sure I'm not saying that right. Pamukazan. Okay. Here we go. Where is Pamukazan? And there it is. This is the island. Now, in our last live stream on Friday, we kind of talked about this base a little bit. It's hard to tell right here. We'll take the air off so you can see maybe a little bit better. There is a little bit of water that runs between this little island and Swerbaya, so they're not actually connected. You kind of have this force out here all on its own, and because of that, so with this base, we're going to essentially take no action, but then the base force, well, this isn't a base force, this is actually an infantry force out here. It is the Berezin Regiment infantry unit. It's got a 24, but it's got the chance to be a lot more than a 24 here. You see the nil rifle squads at 45 damage, only 16 are actually in good shape. Now, I have not turned on. It's always, you have to think of it backwards. I guess I should say I have not turned off the stockpiling of these Dutch rifle squads. So we are continuing to stockpile them. And why am I continuing to do that? Well, it's not entirely clear where we'll need them yet. And so we're still stockpiling them. Eventually, we will probably turn on replacements, and hopefully by then we will have stockpiled enough that we've got a good amount, and we can come in here. Let's see what the actual TOE of this is. It's a 90. We would normally have 90 of these squads. As is, when this gets repaired, we would have 61, and this is telling us we do have some in the pool. And so in the coming turns, and as we see where the Japanese are going to go, Batavia, Palembang, Swerbia, Balikpapan. They've got a lot of choices there. Once we decide, we think we know where they're going to go, then we will turn on those reinforcements and hopefully, get them to the right place at the right time. But we shall see about that. But I'm not going to turn them on yet. Let's see, who do we have? Hey, thanks for following, Ludwig. David, good day to you, sir. And it's Stanley, Sunday evening already. I'm sorry to hear it's your Sunday evening. It is, of course, my Sunday morning, Stanley. And so I've got a few more hours to enjoy until we get back into the grind. But good to see you, mate. We are looking here at Pamukazan, and we're looking at this unit. Now, this unit we're going to try to airlift out of here. Now, unfortunately, we had a little mishap with these transports down here. We were going to try to get some stuff out of, I forget, one of these places around here. And I ended up, I think it was Bima. Yeah, there's no airport or airfield at Bima. And I moved these transports down here to go get some stuff at Bima and then said, oh, we got to get float planes down there. That was my bad. Now, we could have used those transports, I think, to jump. Let's look at Pamukazan. Gosh darn it, get off there. Let's look at Pamukazan and see. Well, it's only got a 1 air capacity. Okay. Well, we'll have to figure out a different way to go get these guys. It could be these guys. They can do some transport. As a matter of fact, okay, so we have these guys doing naval search. All right, excellent. We have these guys training for transport, training for transport. Okay, guys, you're training no more. First of all, for whatever strange reason, we've got to set, we got to, do troop transport. So we'll get off the patrol levels here. For the training, you have to always, if you ever have a problem and you're like, well, these guys are training, I'm trying to give them different orders, I can't do it, for whatever reason with the UI of this game, you have to take training all the way, or you at least have to get it off of 100 before you can give this a different order. So we're going to say troop transport first of all, but that's not actually what we're doing. We'll say select destination, Pamukazan. Now we see we have the arrow to pick up troops. All of a sudden it's active. It's an older game. We'll give them cut them some slack. Pick up troops, perfect. Maximum range, that doesn't look right. Maximum range is 6. Well, I guess they were doing 2, 1, 2. Okay, I guess it doesn't really matter what we set their maximum range as in some respects. But 2 would do it. I'll just set it at 3. Just in case. Okay, they're going to go pick these guys up, this regiment that is here, and bring them over to Swerbia, where they would probably be put to better use. We'll do it with both of these. Again, we'll do troop transport, which doesn't seem like what you would pick, because it's not. We'll click on our destination, and then instead we'll flip over to pick up troops, and now they'll get them. This again, set this down to, that's interesting. So I guess I've never really noticed that before. With troop transport, it actually, sets the max range to the range of where it's going. Yeah, Stanley, I got the whole day ahead of me, man. Can they get all those guys? This is not a very big, now they generally, those planes that we're using, those patrol planes, cannot pick up anything heavy. But we don't even have the howitzer in there right now. I don't think they could get anything over a 37 millimeter, but these guys actually don't have any of those. Now they should, I think the TOE, yeah, the TOE wants them to have it, but they don't have it yet. And so I guess that's not good, but it's good for our purposes here, which is we can go pick up just the men themselves. That's not a problem. And I think between those 2 squadrons, we should be able to get both of them out of there. Yeah, so I got the whole day ahead of me, Stanley. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day here in Southern California. I was down in LA yesterday. It's absolutely gorgeous, 75 and sunny. Now today is the Super Bowl, and I have to tell you, the American football Super Bowl, I have to tell you, I used to be a big sports fan, and for some reason I just don't care anymore. I don't know why that is. My wife and I will not probably watch the game. If we did watch it, it would probably just be for the halftime show or some commercials or whatever. But it's just not something I'm interested in anymore. I guess it's because I've got bigger things to worry about here at Swerbaya. Um, Set objective, Swerbaya. Okay, we did that. We need to set their future objective. Okay, we've already done that. Let's turn that green. Then we have someplace called Probolingo. Okay, never heard of it. Not surprising that I've never heard of Probolingo, but there's nothing to be done there. And then we go on to Semarang, and there's a lot of resources and things like that at Semarang here. Let's turn Probolingo and the resources at Semarang to red. We're not going to be moving those. We couldn't if we wanted to. But what do we have going on here at Semarang? Now, we talked a little bit about this on Friday when I did the live stream about Semarang, and that is the fact that if you look, you've got Batavia, you've got Swerbaya. If I was a Japanese player, I'd come here to Semarang, split the two, and then you could either go north or you could go south, or you could go both ways, I guess, if you wanted to, but it would put a lot of pressure, definitely, on the defender there. I mean, you would just put a ton of pressure on them if you came straight here to Semarang. Now, question, if you bypass some of this other stuff, they may be able to get into your supply. I say they, us, may be able to get into the Japanese supply lines, mess with them here. But if I was them, if I was a Japanese player, volley popping, come straight around here to Semarang. So it is important, I think, that we have a decent deterrent there. Now we have this infantry regiment. Okay, it's got a 51 assault strength. It's not terrible. It's also going to be building quite a bit here. That looks like it will be close to, if not over, 100-point assault strength. So that's good. And this is where we're going to keep it. So that's great. Now you could buy that off and get it off island, get it off Java for 19 points, which seems pretty light, actually. Let's click on that. Yeah, I was going to say it's 131 points. Oh, that's the base force. My bad. Okay, let's look at the base force too. Okay, so it's kind of your normal base force. It does have some aviation support, and that indeed is 18 points. But we're not going to be flipping around with that. And this other force, we did move here. I think we moved from maybe Jogjakarta up to Semarang. So anyway, we're not going to be moving either one of those, so we could sit here and talk about it all day, but they're not going anywhere. We're going to turn them orange because we could move them if we wanted to. They're not, in any way permanently stuck there, but we're not going to do that now. Oh, Stanley, did we have we had any video issues? What's up, sweet dad? How you doing, man? Yeah, I had that on War in the East yesterday, and I don't know what to tell you guys. Man, it really... Oh, 1080p you're having the problem with? Interesting. Because I have absolutely gotten this thing, dialed in, I thought. But if you're not seeing me in 1080p, I'll tell you, War in the Pacific, because of the age of the game, is really testy with this video equipment. Shaky says it seems okay. I don't know. You guys let me know. I'm just going to keep on talking about the game. Let me know, how you're seeing it, what you're seeing. All right, back to it. So Semarang, we're going to have, some troops there. I think we have some more on the way. But we'll have to look at that in the next, couple of turns as the Japanese start to get down in this area. Let's go to Swerbaya. That's where we are next. We're finally to Swerbaya. And we've got these two, let's see, 2944. Yeah, these are the transport guys. Now, we had those training. We now have them going over here to Pamukazan, and we are going to go pick up that regiment. So let's do that. All right, so we've got that set in. Let's turn that to green. Excellent. Now we have another unit, these GBT3s. It's 2938. Let's go see what we've got here. 2938. Okay, we've moved them. I'm not going to go search for them just because we'll be a little pressed for time. Oh, I see. After a unit is repaired, upgrade to the Catalinas and transfer to Billiton. Now, this is your transport base force here. Have we done that yet? We have not. So we're going to have to go look for these guys. It is Squadron 2938. There's some GVT3s originally out of Swerbaya, and I really wonder where they are. Oh, I know what I did. I actually merged them into one of these other squadrons. So these guys are done. They're out. So I'm going to turn them red because they have completely stood down. They're out of here. The rest of Swerbaya, let's look at that very quickly. And let's see, we've got the base, the heavy industry, the light industry, the repair shipyards. We got a lot going on at Swerbaya. We will turn that red, those things that we cannot move. So we have the Far East Command, the ABDA, the command headquarters here at Swerbaya. We also have the MLD, or the air headquarters for the Dutch. All right, that is located here. You see we've got quite a few units. We also have 9 manpower, 80 resources, very nice, 190 oil, which is good, heavy industry 20. We have a refinery of 170, so we're pumping some oil, or pumping some fuel out here. We're also, I've got quite a bit of oil, but we're turning it into fuel. We have 40 light industry, and we have a 8 repair shipyard. I wish that was a little bigger, but it is not, unfortunately. Now let's go see what we have for our LCU units. Now we have an engineer unit here, okay? That is the 2 ML nil. It's an aviation engineering unit. So look at all of this aviation support. Holy moly. We've got 44 that's actually good right now. 56 is damaged, so that will turn into a 100 aviation support unit as it continues to repair. That's just fantastic. So excellent. Hey Ludwig, how's it going? Ludwig 111 here. So yeah, that's a great unit. We're going to leave them there. Now we could buy them out for 44 points, but we're not going to do that, right? Let me check back in with you guys and see what you're saying about the video. Give me just 1 second here. I want to make sure that maybe that's been fixed, repaired, looking better. All right, so we have that engineering unit. And come on. All right, I'm showing 1080p. I don't know. You tell me, Stanley. You tell me. All right, continuing on here. So we've got this second KNIL Landstrom group, infantry group, that we are airlifting to Babar. And here is Babar down here. Now, if we started doing that, evidently we have not. So they are up here. That is unit 5817. Let's go find them. They are right here. Okay, so we're going to need to airlift them, and we probably need to do it with those transport planes. Well, let's see. Now at Babar, what is the size of the airfield down here? It's a 0. Okay, well, it's going to be very hard to airlift them without float planes. So as soon as we get this unit up to Swarbaia, and I'm actually going to make a note about that and say, or after Pamukazan, airlift, all right? Just so we remember that we're going to be taking that down to Babar as soon as we can. Now we have this unit 5820. Let's go look at them very quickly. Sweet Dad says he's only 4 hours north of you. Okay. Up near San Francisco somewhere, Sweet Dad? The nuclear strategist. Wow, we got a nuclear strategist in the house. We should play some ICBM. Hi there, nuclear strategist. Thanks for stopping by. All right, let's see here. Third Nil Landstrom is 5820. Now, we just found them, I think. This is 5817. There's 5820. They're pinned up here. I say pinned. We've got their objective as Swarbaia. We've got them in combat mode. Perfect. We'll turn those orange. Not expecting to be moving them at all. You could not buy them out even if you wanted to. They are a Java-specific unit. Then we have the coastal defense. Of course, you never can move the coastal defenses, really. They are where they are. So we will turn that red, actually, because we couldn't move that no matter what. We then have this Marine headquarters, the Commandant Marine headquarters. They, again, are locked in. Combat mode, Swarbaia, perfect. I will turn them orange just because we could move them up to Batavia, let's say, if we needed to. Then we had a Marine Battalion, Infantry Battalion, 5823. It is long gone, y'all. Where did it go? Well, it is going to Meraki. Didn't we figure out last time? Maruk. I think that's how I was told to say it on the last live stream. Maruk. So that is headed off to Maruk, and we have a transport out here somewhere heading over here to Maruk. Has it already arrived? Actually, nope. This is fuel to Maruk, and yeah, one of these task forces out here somewhere is headed out to Maruk. I'm not going to go look for it. We will make sure it gets there in the next couple of turns. I do remember sending it, so I think we're fine. This MLD, so the air command here, this one here, we have loaded it up with 20 torpedoes. Now, we went into this week about how torpedoes work in this game and how it's a little bit different than what you would expect and how it works in other games. You get torpedoes and you store them at the air headquarters, and that is what we've done here. So to the extent any of these planes need torpedoes, they can get them from this headquarters unit. Then we have the Swarbaia base force. We're not going to be doing anything with that. And then we have a bunch of ships. Of course we do. And the first ones we've got here are a couple of AGP tenders, where we've said, or Cole has said, no action, await developments. Okay, let's go look for them. Now we have 23 ships in port, which is never ideal. We've got a lot of things here that we could do things with. And we see these two AGPs, they're gunboat patrol tenders. There's not really a whole lot to do. I mean, letting them sit here at Swarbaia is probably our best bet. We're going to be bringing some PTs back this way. And so, letting them rearm, taking care of them, it's really the best thing that we could do. And so, we're going to let those come back here. And as things develop, we'll figure out other things to do with them. But for now, there's really nothing to do with those AGPs. Okay, let's keep moving. We're going to keep those green. We'll come back and look at them. Now then, the next thing we have here is an AM. So we've got it's a minesweeper of some sort. The Abraham Jensen. Okay, it's a cargo task force 18. Or we put it in a cargo task force to run some ASW for the cargo task force. We're going to dock, load fuel to Kendari, direct, do not refuel. Wow, okay. So has that made it out here to Kendari? What do we have out here? No, but we have some task forces that look like they either went to Kendari and are on their way back, and that is indeed the case here. So we've got the Abrahel Jensen, the Kwang Tung, the Slindoang, the Cinnabang. This knocks out the Cinnabang. That makes me think of Cinnabon. Made me a little hungry there. Let's turn these orange, and I'll tell you why. So everything that we had in Task Force 18, we're going to turn orange. Let's go look at these for just a second. Yeah, that's what I was hoping. These are all 2-point ships, as is the Jensen. And so we're going to turn this into a CS. Shoot, I can't do it till it gets back to port. Shoot, I wish I could. Yeah, no, I can't do it. All right, actually, I'm going to keep that green then. When this gets back to Swerbaya, we're going to start running this as a continuous supply back and forth to Kendari. Now, as the Japanese get closer, we're going to have to keep an eye on that. We may want to get it out of there, but ultimately, this entire task force is only worth 12 points, even if they sank everything. And so, in some respects, it may just be simpler to turn that into a continuous supply, but we shall see. All right, let's get out of that and go spreadsheet here. We have an ASW group, the AM Ellen Dubois, that we sent around to Tagillajap. It should probably be here by now. Let's make sure that it is. There it is, the Ellen Dubois. So this is an ASW merge, I was saying. It's supposed to be escorting tanker task forces out of Tagillajap. Okay, so it's where it's supposed to be. We don't have a tanker task force here now. Do we have one coming? No, this is the Canopus. Do we have another one coming? You know, we've got tankers running everywhere here, right? This is a Perth tanker group. Now let's go back and look at this ship and see if it has enough endurance to even make it all the way to Perth. There it is. It does not. Even if it fuels up, it does not really. It just doesn't have. You know, it's completely full. Fueled up here. So what I'm going to do with this is actually run a little I'm just going to put ASW to Jill, and I am going to run a little patrol zone out here of ASW. Let's set that patrol zone. Let's set boundary 1 and boundary 2. Now this, as I said, this just does not have much endurance, and as you can see, it's already taken up 7 of its 27. So we'll just do this 1-2. We'll just have it go back and forth. Then it'll go to Tagillajap and refuel. That's fine. Let's go back to back. Mission speed, okay. Max react 1, perfect. All right, that gives us a little ASW there. I like it. I'm going to turn that orange because I do not plan on moving that. Then we have a tanker task force that is going to Macassar out of Swerbaya. Okay, where is Macassar, you may say? It is right here. I do believe that this task force has already been here and is on its way back. It is here, indeed. The Tantalus. Actually, this is not the one I was looking for. I'm looking for the AM Jan Van Amstel. Is this still in port? I will be embarrassed if it is. Otherwise, I'm not exactly sure where it would be. Nope, it's not here. Okay, interesting. The Van Amstel, where the heck are you? Well, I didn't want to go do this, really. Let's go back to all ships. This is an AM, which is a minesweeper. What would we have it? Oh, there we go. AM Jan Van Amstel. Okay. I guess they're going to start it in the J's. Gosh, dang. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J. Okay. We've got a lot of minesweepers. Oh, goodness gracious. Where is this thing? Where are you? Oh, I see. It is the JAN. Okay, it should be right up here. Unless they're listing it under Van Amstel. But why would they do that? None of the other... My fault. Searching the wrong way. Here we go. HIJKL. There's the Jan Van Amstel. Where is this ship? Oh, it's sitting here at Swerbaya. Okay, so this has already gone on one mission out to Macassar. So what are we going to do here? Well, we're going to load it up, have it go back to Macassar. Let's look at this AO, because this AO is not worth much. It's only worth 4. It's a very small one. So let's... Can that make it all the way over there and back? Do not refuel? Not really. 580 endurance. Let's see, 40, 80, 120, 160. Yeah, I mean, it can make it over there. Let's do a tactical refuel over there, just so it has, or minimal. That's good. Let's do that and turn this into, so let's dock it. Let's load fuel. And then let's just turn that into a CS Macassar. Perfect. Okay, good. We'll turn that orange. We're not going to do anything with that for a while. Then we have a few other things that I think will come back and deal with in future episodes. I will probably do it offline after this, but we'll also talk about them in the future. We've got a lot of minesweepers that we've sent out, but the one thing I want to do before we run the turn is get these subs back out on the water, or underneath the water if you prefer. Let's get these guys. They have come back in here and repaired, or at least rearmed, and so let's get them back out on patrol. Yeah, that's true, Stanley. The more hopeless it is. Okay, David, that's interesting. All right, I'll just have to look at it again. I don't know. All right, so we're going to set this up, sub patrol. This is going to be the KVII. Done. We're going to do sub patrol. And we are going to max react this one at 1. Now let's figure out where we want this sub to go. So we'll just remember this is back at Swerbaya. I feel like this area is going to get really ripe. So we've got a Dutch sub here. We can kind of, anywhere up in here. We could even do, something here. Or alternatively, we can come out here, although we have a lot of American presence over here by the Philippines. So I think let's send it right here. All 3 of these subs kind of up in this area. We've had good luck up here. And so let's get up in this area and see what kind of damage we can do. So let's set a patrol zone, and we'll do 1. We'll have them run kind of from here, or have this one run from here to, let's say, down here by Mersing, and then kind of back out this way, like to here. Okay, so that'll be 1. And then let's go back, get those other 2 subs. This is the main thing I really wanted to do here that I don't feel like can really wait. Let's do sub patrol. There we go. Swerbaya, done. Let's do sub patrol. And I don't really have a name for this. I guess it's the East Coast of Malaya. Let's just do East Coast, or sub patrol Malaya. Fine. It doesn't matter. We'll figure it out. Set patrol zone. Let's do 1. And we'll do this one from Kwanton. And we'll come down here to Mersing. So we'll be running 1 here. Yeah, like to here. We'll make sure that we've got that set as a 1 react, and then we'll just have it come, like here. Okay. Back. Let's make sure we've got a max react of 1 there. Excellent. And then let's do the final one. Form new task force, sub-patrol, KIX, done. And we'll once again say sub-patrol, Malaya. Okay, excellent. And we'll do one more patrol zone here. And we'll do this one maybe from, let's say here. That's one. And let's do two. And we'll just kind of leave it there. That's fine. We'll just have it go 1, 2, back and forth, back and forth. So this gives us a little more coverage here into Malaya. We already have some Dutch subs up here, which is excellent. And so let's go ahead and run that, or run this turn. I think we've set up everything we need to. I've been through 99% of this. There are some things at Swerbaya I would probably like to mess around with a little bit more, but we'll do it next time. It's not the end of the world. The Japanese are not close, and so let's go ahead and resolve this turn. First of all, of course, always save. Let's play 7 pre. All right, save. So we'll have that saved. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'll have to just go back and look at the settings again. I'm running all the recommended settings, and so if you're not seeing the performance that you should, I'll just have to go back and do that again. That's on my end. If a couple of you guys, more than a couple, are having that problem, so I'll go back and look. If you do want to see all this action, it seems to be recording fine. So you may want to just go back and watch it on the channel, just the upload there, because the recording seems to be going fine. So if you do miss a little bit, sorry about that. I will do everything I can that when we come back tomorrow to make sure that's not a problem. All right, Stanley, you ready? You ready for the home run? Let's do it. Let's see what happens. Let's run the turn. I always like to go back to Pearl. I don't know why. It starts shifting us around anyway. I guess I've done this a few million times. In the orders phase, and let's go. Hopefully we get these destroyers taking out some subs. I would like to sink just a few more Japanese subs here if we can. Gosh, I love this game. I wish every game was WeGo like this. I wish War in the East was like this. I don't know why it can't resolve, I mean, they obviously did the technology here, although I would imagine the programming on that, Andy Mack could tell us how time intensive that was. Seems to be focusing on this base out here. We may be getting some air traffic out here by Georgetown. Usually the Japanese just bomb the living hell out of Georgetown. I'm actually hanging on a little bit more. Stanley, yeah. Steve Bartman. That's right. I'm a huge Cubs fan. I was very distraught after that game. Although what happened to that poor guy, he had to move to Florida and be anonymous. It's not that important, but boy, that game was really something. If you ever get a chance on ESPN, they do a documentary, the whole thing leading up to that. It's really something. Oh, that reminds me. Up here in China, I was looking at China, and they're really going after Chengchao up here. This right here. They have a big force there, but we have a big force. We have over 1,000 assault value there that's well dug in, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, Stanley, he had to move. I mean, he took so much hate, so much problems that he moved to Florida. I think maybe he changed his name eventually, and he will not do interviews. He will not come back. They tried to invite him back after the Cubs finally won the World Series in 2016. They tried to invite him back, and he said, "Nope, nope, no thanks." Oh yeah, we're by the way, I Chang, we just took that there. Very nice. The Japanese essentially, surrendered I Chang. Well, I say they the troops didn't surrender, but they just got out of there. They left the base as is, and we have now taken I Chang up in China, which is great. We can start thinking a little bit about some movements up in China. Maybe this week we'll talk a little bit about that. I don't want to focus too much on China. I know some people don't really even care about that, about the Chinese part of this game. So I don't want to spend that much time. I think this week maybe we'll go back to Pearl Harbor. There is still a lot of stuff sitting here at Pearl Harbor that we need to get on the move. I've been waiting, using the excuse there's still Japanese subs in the area, but I think it is time to really get that stuff moving. Man, this night phase looks dark. I'm looking at the stream. I'm like, my gosh, really does look like nighttime there on the screen. Victoria Point getting hit again, as usual. Singapore, okay. They're all approaching. We had an AO-10 sink. We have ships performing damage control. Temporary flotation repairs are failing aboard the Fusega. We've got some units merging, some unloading. Yes, I want the combat animations on. Come on. There's our bad weather. There we go. Combat summaries are on. That's what I want. Okay, so look at all of these destroyers that we've got going on out here. And here we go. We are hunting submarines. I like it. Fails to find sub. We'll escape through here and get the summary. So the DD hull is out here. It did find this Japanese submarine, which should cause us to swarm, as always. Now, it could not find it. It's sighted. It was sighted by an escort. It searched around, but could not find it. Who was that asking about bad weather indications last time? I've decided to turn the bad weather indicators on, just so we can see where that's happening. Of course, we can't run any patrols where there's bad weather. All right, we don't need to see all that. Reactions. Okay, here they come in on Rabaul. We have 21 Bettys hitting Rabaul. That should tell us something. If they're going to send a bomber force of that size to Rabaul, we have probably got troops on the way. 21 Bettys. We had no flights that went up. It says Allied aircraft, no flights. We had a Hudson 1 damaged on the runway, though. And they did hit our airbase supply 5, runway hits 30. So yeah, that's not good. That many runway hits, that's going to make Rabaul very hard to get in and out of. Now we're running missions in there, trying to. We got some things up in the air at Clark Field here. Some Warhawks, some P-35As. So 40E Warhawks and 40B Warhawks. They've got Betty and Nels coming in unescorted, and so that's good for us. Now it looks like a lot of them made it past our initial cap. We got some flak hitting them on the way in, so we ended up getting 25 planes up in the air, and we did some damage here. We destroyed 2 Nels, we damaged 1 Betty, and we only had a P-40B Warhawk damage. I would have liked to see better of that, to be honest with you. Runway hits 32, that's not good, and that's what's going to keep happening down here. We're going to at Clark Field, we're going to start having a hard time getting planes up in the air. We really need to do more damage than that. Now here's a second group coming in. This is escorted by Zeros coming in hot, 16 Bettys. Let's see what happens here. It looks like we have at least 19 planes in the air. Probably will be more. And then we have 11 more that got up and scrambled. Okay, that's nice, good. Yep, we got quite a few of them got through, but I think that we also did some damage there. But man, Clark Field's going to be in tough shape here. Escape, escape. We tried to get him on the way out too. Zeros, 13. Betty, 16. We got 24 planes in the air. We destroyed 2 zeros. Hey, that's not terrible for 3 destroyed Warhawks. Okay, and we damaged 2 Betty. We're just not hitting their bombers very well here. Surprising. So we could read the whole thing here. It does not look like they did. Did they do any damage? Yeah, they did. Runway hits 22. Man, they are crushing that runway at Clark Field. We may have to think about transferring these planes over to Manila. Look at this force. 43 zeros coming in, 20 Bettys. So they are making their big play for Clark Field here. We damaged 1. They destroyed 1 of our Warhawks. Not getting great numbers here. More runway hits. That's going to become a real problem. All right, so now they're up bombing in China. Nates and Lilies coming in. Actually a smart place for them to bomb here. But they didn't do any damage. Okay. We got Japanese recon. Now they're going to start bombing Kuala Lumpur, it seems. 39 Nates and 20 Ans. Wow. We have 4 Buffaloes in the air. Let's see what they can do. Now those bombers are coming in unescorted for the, the Nates are doing a little bit of escort, but Nates and Ans come in, 59 total planes. We had 4 Buffaloes up. And all we did was we destroyed 1 aircraft by flak. Did they get no runway hits though? So that's good. We kind of turned them away, it seems. Now they're going to hit, they're going to hit some of our shipping here. We've got 7 Nates, 3 Sonias make it through. The Baturn, which is a minesweeper, they didn't do a thing there. Now they're going to hit Tavoy again. 36 aircraft over Tavoy, where we have essentially nothing. They could just walk into Tavoy if they wanted to. Stanley says he visited Clark Field some 20 years ago. That big hill close to the airfield, still fenced in. Too many bombs on it. Wow. Huh. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, right? There's still, every once in a while in Europe they find World War II bomb. That place out there at Clark Field just got the Jesus bombed out of it. So very interesting. All right, they're hitting Manila now. So, whoa, they're going after ships again out here. This is the Campania Filipinas. What a name. This is one of those really cheap supply ships that we ran in here. And yeah, it's on heavy fire. If they go after these, now these are only worth 1 or 2 points, those cargo ships that I'm trying to get in there with a little extra supply. Hopefully they can just dock in Manila, and if it sinks, but they get the supply off. That'll be fine. Okay, we got a lot of sightings going on here. But surprisingly, okay, well, we got some more bombing now. They're coming in here. What is that? I want to say that's... No, it's not Wu Chao. Well, we'll just have to look. Oh, this is Consine. Okay. They brought in 16. They hit the runway 3 times. We don't have any planes there. Not the biggest deal. They're probably hitting an airfield that they will eventually take over anyway. So no biggie there. Tojos and Idas coming in hot, but they didn't do anything. Oh, I see. Okay, they're over here at the 2nd Chinese Base Force. Afternoon air attack at Kuai Lin. All right, no damage. We got cap up. All right, 13. Look at this, 52 zeros and 20 sallies heading our way at Clark Field. It's just going to be impossible to hold off those kind of numbers. There's not a whole lot we can do. We got to hope we can do as much damage as possible, but we're actually taking the worst of this. 1 destroyed zero, 1 damaged sally. We're just not hitting their bombers like I would like. You know, the zeros are pretty much always going to chew us up with the Warhawks, and so we've got to hope that we take out some bombers along with us. That is not happening, unfortunately. All right, looks like they're going to bomb some more of this shipping up here. Again, this is a minesweeper. It's sometimes very hard for them to hit these minesweepers. They're not very big ships, that's for sure. And usually they have an okay speed. It makes them kind of elusive. Yeah, sweet dad, that's right. The Japanese pilots do get training when they bomb bases in China, and so good Japanese players will run bombing missions even places where you don't have anything, just because they don't have to worry about you having cap up, and they do get experience for bombing those bases. That's a good point, sweet dad. Okay, this is that same Campania Philippanus. See what happened to it. Heavy fires, heavy damage. It got hit again. That one's going down. Surprised we didn't get the report down here that it sank. Okay, aircraft phase. Oh, here comes our air transports here. We're in the air transport phase, so we get to see everywhere where we're transporting troops here and there, from Leh, from Rabaul, that one that we just set up from Pamukazan, that just happened. Oh, nice. Okay, we found another Japanese sub out here. It is again one of our destroyers. Now remember, our destroyers only have that 2 ASW, and so they're not great. But they're letting the Japanese know, they know that we know where they are anyway, the Litchfield here, and it also allows us to swarm. We will see if we actually do swarm to that location, because we've got all of those, for the most part, either on max react 3 or 2. And here they come. Here is the hull trying to get a shot or two off. Torpedo misses, and now we're hunting. So who's hunting who here? Okay, we couldn't really find them. They actually launched 2 torpedoes at us, so they found us. We didn't necessarily find them. We're ending this 12-hour pulse. There actually has not been a ton of action this turn. I mean, there's been a lot of bombing runs, and we're a little bit of trouble at Clark Field. David says, yeah, that was that same sub. So that could be our swarm. They did get 2 torpedoes off on us, but hopefully, you're just going to see that congregation. Hopefully they won't all get in the same hex again. That's always kind of annoying. 39th Chinese Division marching around here. This is good. We actually need to get some guys down here to that area, down in the southwest, this area right here. We're a little vulnerable there right now. Now that the Japanese have taken Hong Kong, they can take all those troops and start moving them north, or most of them. They'll leave a garrison there, of course, but we've got troops on the way from this Central Reserve up here, from Chongqing. We've moved a lot of things out of the Central Reserve, and we're moving them south. All right, this is a lot of marching. I always like to fast forward this because you can, if you watch fast enough, you can just kind of tell where things have been moving this turn. We've got things finally getting over there to Kilgoorlie, where we will then march them to Perth. So they've been railed to Kilgoorlie. Oh, we got some ground combat now. All right. Interesting. Okay. This is near Wuchang. Oh, I know where we are here. Okay, they're attacking force, so they brought 1,398 guys, 12 guns. Okay, Their assault value 252. This was a shock attack. Their adjusted assault, though, became a 0. Interesting. Were they coming across a river? I really would like to go look more at that. It's near Wu Chang. We probably have a good fort level there, but holy smokes. We caused 765 casualties. They caused 7. So we destroyed 17 squads that, won't be coming back. 43 disabled. Excellent. Okay, I'll take those kind of results every time. Oh, now we're getting hit down here. This is the area I was talking about. We have got to really start fortifying here because we're a little outnumbered. Although you'll see here, we should have the best of this. 81 assault value for the Japanese. Our Chinese troops have 135. They just did a bombardment attack. Okay, but I think over this next turn, we're going to have to go look around down there. Now we're getting attacked at San Fernando right here. So, the Japanese are starting to move south here at Luzon. We really just got wiped out there. They've got a huge force, and they just took San Fernando. We are retreating. Now, we had 3,200 troops there, not a terrible. 58 guns. We had a 135 assault value. Look at this adjusted assault, though. 60-1 odds. They've captured San Fernando. They took 1,600 casualties. We took 1,600 casualties. Wow. And they took none? Wow, okay. I mean, you would think somebody just would have fallen down and sprained an ankle or something. How in the world did they take no casualties? 1608, well, that's not great. They really chewed us up there at San Fernando. I'm not sure I quite understand that. Deliberate attack at Loag, right here. So, man, they're getting here in a hurry. Yeah, we're going to have to focus on the Japanese here. Well, I say focus on it. It's almost too late, right? I mean, they're almost there, but we got to make sure everybody's in combat mode. Japanese assault odds, 24-1. Okay, we had no troops there, so not surprising. But man, they've really moved down the Philippines in a hurry. Now we're out here at Guam. We've got nothing at Guam. Orphanan. All right, all right. It always hurts. Every time I hear that, it still hurts. Japanese bombardment attack at Hualien. I don't think we really have... Oh, this is that Lusu war area that's stuck behind enemy lines here. Whatever. It's like they never can be destroyed, and they never really surrender. Eventually, they'll make it back to our lines. That Lusu war area. It's like the strange headquarters, the ghost headquarters, I call it sometimes. Japanese bombardment attack on Wake. That's been happening and happening. They originally did not send much of a force here. It looks like they've tried to beef that up just a little bit, at least. But still not good enough. And they still have not taken Wake. So, excellent. Yeah, Sweet Dad, that is a good point. Fog of War could have potentially caused us not to see the losses, although once you're in battle like that, it's just unusual not to see something, even if the information's incorrect because of the Fog of War, but to not, see any casualty, I don't know. It seemed a little odd to me. Now we're doing our fort sizes. Always a fun part of the game when you see your fort sizes go up. Yeah, the Marines are holding strong out there on Wake. Those are brave souls. All right, we've had a bunch of arrivals, and we're back at Pearl. There we are. Well, I've got to say, not a whole lot happened that turn. We didn't have a lot of surface combat. We didn't have a lot of submarine combat. We had a couple of destroyers out here by Pearl that locked on, and you can see, look at this mass. They're like, hey guys, there's a sub over here, right? And so they've locked on onto that. David says, do we need to fortify Puna? Let's go look at Puna. Now that you've said that, got my rear admirals here. Oh, did that pop up that we didn't have a garrison? Well, we do have enough garrison now. Yeah, we had something on the way. This is one of those where you'll lose victory points because of the garrison requirement. I think it took a while to get something there, if that's what you were talking about. Oh, so anyway, this turn, yeah, we've got this kind of sub action out here. Now we also see we've got finally the Saratoga is coming in here at Pearl. We also, if we look at Pearl, have a lot of ships sitting here. 64 ships still in port. These DMSs, the DMs, we are going to get those moving out to our kind of iron wall. So we're going to get them out to Christmas. We're going to get them to, oh, I see what you're saying, David. Do we need to fortify Puna? Like, we're building fortifications out there. Why are we doing that? It's a good question. Sometimes coal, like, builds up things that I'm kind of like, do we really need to build that up? Or I wouldn't normally do it. We're even expanding the airfield out here. I think the idea is we've got so much supply in India, it kind of doesn't matter to some extent. Yeah, you don't really need to. I guess maybe they're thinking if the Japanese took Bombay, I don't, if the Japanese come up here and take Bombay, we probably just need to wave the white flag anyway. But yeah, that was on the spreadsheet. It is not something I would generally do if I'm just playing the game. I don't really see much of a need for it. But there are several of those around the map. I'm sure Cole has a good reason. If he ever jumped on here, he'd probably say, hey, this is why I'm fortifying Puna. So anyway, I'm allowing it to go. We've got enough coming out of Abadan down to Karachi that some supplies building up Puna probably aren't going to hurt. Yeah, so anyway, we've got our carrier coming in here, the Saratoga, that will be coming in. We're going to go look, as I said, this week, we're going to go back and look at Pearl Harbor. We also need to look at the Philippines here. We are just getting swarmed at the northern end of Luzon, as happened historically. This is nothing unusual. It's not like we're doing anything wrong. They just, this is where the Japanese come first. Now, they didn't really move, well, maybe they did a little bit here. They have moved out of Legazpi, so they're also heading north, and it's just a matter of time. Look at all this action out here. We've got a lot of shipping about, but we also have a lot of subs. Now, in the not too distant future, these subs are going to have to go back somewhere, rearm, refuel. I've got most of them set for Manila now, but as you see, that's something else we'll do this week. We'll go and set those all up, probably for Surabaya, maybe down to Darwin. We'll just look, it kind of depends where they are. If they're over here, maybe we go to Darwin. If they're over here, we go to Surabaya. But we'll have to go, take care of that. We don't want one of our subs to come floating back up here to Manila and the Japanese be, right here. They also have a lot of bombers in the area. We did not spot their main fleet again this time. Now, last time we thought that they were up in this area. This sub actually spotted them when it was down here, we think. But they were probably, heading back this way, maybe heading straight to Tokyo or one of, the big bases here. Yokohama, potentially. So they're probably heading that way. And with that, we're going to call an end to turn 7. I'm going to save it right here. And tomorrow at 10 a.m. when we come back, number 1, I'm going to spend the rest of the day making sure these damn videos look perfect for you guys, that you see them in 1080p and there is no spinning wheel to the extent any of you are getting that. I'll make absolutely sure. And secondly, what else am I going to do? That's probably about it. No, I'm going to make sure that that happens. And when we come back tomorrow at 10 a.m., we'll go to Pearl Harbor. We'll look at the Philippines. We'll look at those subs. That's kind of what we'll focus on this week. Again, until we get to turn 15 or 20, I'll probably be setting up during the week and resolving on Sundays. I kind of like the schedule. It's way too busy to be trying to run a turn every single time. There's still way too much going on. So anyway, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Stanley, Sweet Dad, David, the crew. Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate it, and I will talk to you last time. How about next time? Have a good one, guys.